Steve, first of all, if we can talk a little bit about Tom Ince. Obviously he came in the summer, he went out on loan yesterday to Nottingham Forest. What was the thought behind that?
Well, Tom came in pre-season, did ever so well, and he started the season. And you know, we kind of we changed the shape of the team, and then obviously one or two players came in the team, out the team. Tom was one of those, and we just felt at this moment in time that he hasn't played as much football as we would like. So Steve agreed with Nottingham Forest to take him on loan till January, and hopefully get some games in, which he will. He'll perform like we know he can, and that'll be beneficial for all of us.
As far as you and the manager are concerned, there's still a long-term future here for Tom Ince.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He's he's a top player, and an exciting player, and one that we're looking forward to working with for a good number of years.
Can you bring us up to speed with the latest on Nikica Jelavic as well? There were reports that earlier in the week he had a procedure.
No, he's fine. Yeah, he's Yella, Michael Dawson, two goalkeepers are all progressing well, and hopefully they'll be fit and available just after the international break.
And how are we looking for tomorrow's game against Southampton in terms of fitness generally in the squad?
Great, they're all fit and well. Nobody's carried anything. Andy Robertson had a little bit of a sore knee. That's settled down. So yeah, all fit and well, and looking forward to it.
What's the assessment of this Hull City side? Because you go back 12 months, same number of games played, same number of points accrued, same position in the league. But is there an underlying feeling that this is a better squad now?
Yeah, undoubtedly. I think the manager's spent wisely in the summer, and we've brought quite a few good, solid additions to the squad, and it has been a solid start. We've still yet to really, perform like we did in certain games last season, and I think that's coming. We've shown signs of it, a little glimpse of it during games. But having said that, we've had two really difficult games away from home, and obviously a really difficult game again tomorrow. But I think the boys are quietly confident about the season, looking ahead. But as this league is, just one game at a time, and looking forward to Southampton.
Well, 2 weeks ago I sat here with Steve Bruce, and he said if you could get anything at all out of trips to Arsenal and Liverpool, that would be a bonus. So to come away having not lost either game, the dressing room must be cock-a-doodle right now.
It is, yeah, and I think the players have worked so hard at Arsenal, as you have to do to gain a valuable point, and again at Liverpool last week. So they are in a confident mood and a good place at the minute. So it's now a home game. It's now a different opposition, a difficult opposition, but again, one, as I said earlier, where the players are really looking forward to putting on a top performance for the supporters, and also, if we can at times during the game have more possession of the ball than we have had in the two recent games, then
How surprised have you and everybody here at Hull been with how Southampton played this season? Second in the Premier League table, only 2 defeats in all competitions. At the start of the season, all the changes that were going on, many people were saying, well, they could be relegation candidates.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure I go as far as saying relegation candidate, but I understand your question, and they have replaced the players that they lost very well, and undoubtedly they've been probably the team of the season so far. The results and the goals that they've scored, and Pelly's got, I think, 9 goals already this season. So, and Longy obviously joined them, and they're a threat with Tadic and good midfield players with Schneidlin, and they don't concede many goals. So yeah, Ronald Koeman's done a fantastic job, I have to say. They're now in the quarterfinals of the Capital One Cup. So the position that they're in, they've deserved. It'll be a really, really tough game. Is it a surprise of where they are? Possibly a little bit, but it's credit to the manager and his staff and all the players for where they are this season.
And Ronald Koeman seems to have been able to establish a squad of players that go under the radar, not necessarily big name players. What problems as an opposition do they pose you now?
Well, I think they are a good side and they have top quality players, and they're a possession-based team. You know, I think Ronald Koeman's background of Dutch football and is possession-based, and it's frustrating at times to, you know, to how we get the ball back. And but we have a plan. We will work on it, and you know, and look forward to the task.
And just finally, there's been a lot of talk and conjecture in the media, especially this week, about grappling in the penalty area. Obviously, we saw an instance between Manchester United and Chelsea last Sunday. Is it time for referees and officials to take a zero tolerance approach, or is that even possible?
I think it's difficult. I think every situation is difficult. They might kind of look the same when you look back on games, but they're all different. Players move at different speeds. They move on different movements on shoulders. The angle for the referee changes every second. So it is a difficult one for the referees, and all the striker or the defender that's trying to score is trying to gain half a yard to make contact with the ball. So no, I think, yeah, there's now and again there's the obvious one where the player is obviously has a job to stop the opponent, and he's desperate to prevent him getting a header on goal, and that does happen sometimes. But I think generally speaking, it's difficult for the referees, and I don't think they miss too much.
What are the instructions that yourself and Steve Bruce give to your defenders when it comes to defending inside the box?
Just stop your opponent and you know, mark tight and make contact with your head with the ball and see the ball away. It's as simple as that.
Steve, they caused you a few problems. Pochettino Southampton last year, home and away. And this Southampton under Koeman appears to be going even better. So, from a tactical point of view, how hard is it to sort of pick holes in their team?
Well, it is difficult, but I think we do look at every team. We look at all the strengths, and we're quite aware of Southampton's strengths for tomorrow. Slightly different from Pochettino last season, and but then we have to look at the weaknesses. And you know, we're at home. We have to be on the front foot. We have to be positive. How can we hurt them? Where are their weaknesses? And all that mixed in, I think it's got the makings of a terrific game tomorrow.
And what subtle differences have you noticed between the Koeman and the Pochettino Southampton?
I still think there's little bits left from Pochettino's reign, you know, within the team, and the way they press the ball. And but you know, I think the philosophy is very similar in terms of the possession. So you know, they're not too dissimilar, with one or two, you know, tweaks here and there. But we're looking forward to it.
And then Long, you got a goal in the week, and you know all about Shane Long. So I think he'll pose a threat tomorrow if he plays.
Yeah, Shane's he's a terrific player, and he was very good for us last season. And it was the only fact that it was a big chunk of money that we decided to, you know, to sell Shane to Southampton. But no, he's a good, great lad. Did ever so well for us for, what was it, 3, 4, 5 months last season. Good luck to him for the rest of his career, but maybe not too much tomorrow.
And obviously great to get draws at the Emirates and Liverpool, but I wonder just how satisfying it was for you and Steve, given that, I'm not saying it was a scratch squad, but some of your leading players like Dawson, the goalkeepers, were out of the team. How pleasing was it that the replacements came in and Amanda, so to speak?
It was great, because the players are a tight group, and they do work very, very hard for each other, and they've got a terrific spirit. And I think it's opportunities like Stephen Harper coming off at Arsenal injured, Eldin Jakupovic going in playing particularly well, Alex Bruce coming in for Michael Dawson, and the other players that have been in the team and then possibly out the team. They've all been terrific. They're great to work with, and you know, credit to every one of the squad to work like they did to get the 2 points at Arsenal and Liverpool.
Was that, Steve, Robbie Brady's best game in an amber and black shirt, would you say?
I think it was, yeah. I think he was terrific. You know, I mean, to play defensively like he did against one of the top players in the Premier League in Sterling was just an outstanding performance. And Robbie's in a good place at the minute, and long may it continue.